Has this been one of the wildest years in hip-hop or what? What's going on, YouTube? It's Knox Hill, and we are back. We are back. Listen, a lot has been going on. I feel like we need to make a video and catch up on things. As you guys know, we have been tirelessly covering this Kendrick and Drake beef. Yes, I'm well aware of the unfortunate situation of the shooting of Drake's bodyguard, so I wanted to talk about that. We'll get to that a little bit later on. And then, you know, with everything that's going on, everybody's playing internet sleuth right now. And there's all kinds of stories and information coming out and disinformation coming out because people want to get out in front. And they want to be the first to drop bombs, to drop the news, to get clicks. And they're not always fact checking. So it's our job to kind of cut and wade through it all and just have a bullshit meter out as we dive into some of these situations. But there was a really interesting story and video that I wanted to cover first, which has to deal with the history of Drake and Kendrick. Now remember, I made a video covering some of this. There's been bad blood between these two for a long time. So it's no surprise that it's finally culminated in this. They've been taking indirect shots and saying things about each other for years now. So I guarantee you this has been on Kendrick's mind. And yes, one of the things that has been spread and that people have talked about that I think is certainly true is that Kendrick has a lot more diss tracks on deck. Like, he just has them holstered right now. And I think the reason why Drake waved the white flag, according to sources, or he's taking a break from all this, is because he too is aware of the amount of diss tracks that Kendrick has. He's tired of the allegations and everything that's being thrown his way. He doesn't want Kendrick to continue pushing that narrative on him, which makes sense from Drake's side of things. But I definitely think that Kendrick has a lot more tucked away because you can just tell, and we talked about it in the breakdowns, there is hatred there. There is hatred for this man. There is animosity. But where did this hatred come from? Where did this animosity stem? Because at one point, you know, they were cool with each other. At one point, it looked like, you know, Drake was looking out for Kendrick, right? Much in the same way that Drake has done with other artists, like The Weeknd or Future. But we have seen how that's gone for Drake. So let's dive into this video. Shout out to Marcellus Wiley, right? NFL podcaster, obviously an ex-pro, Pro Bowler, NFL legend, man. I'm excited for this one. You guys have been sending me this, and I thought it'd be really cool to dive into right here, right now, because he's got an interesting story of Drake and ESPN and Kendrick Lamar in the heart of this beef.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Marcellus Wiley. That dude, it's time to hydrate. Hydration situation. So, sip on some Pedialyte. It's time to get into this, man. I've been watching everybody talk about this Kendrick-Drake beef.
Pro tip for those of you who are maybe recovering from a night of one too many of those waters, Pedialyte is a great method of recovery. It's not just for babies.
And I've been watching everybody talk about this Kendrick-Drake beef.
Shout out to Wiley, man.
My go-tos are simple. I always go to No Shack Life and I go to Knox Hill. They break it down for me. Every new song come out, what they got to say about it.
Let's go!
But then I feel like I was robbing y'all.
Let's go!
You know way too much about this.
Look at this legend right here. Shout me out. Hey, much love to you, man. Much love. I can't believe that. Come on. I feel like No Life Shaq getting some love. Shout out to Shaq. Shout out to the GOAT, baby. Shout out to Marcellus Wiley, too. That's just so dope. You know what's been incredible through this whole situation, I've talked about this before, is getting recognition for, you know, years of effort and hard work and just grind into this craft and the passion for what I do. And it really feels like some of it is starting to pay off. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to Marcellus. And Marcellus, look, man, I got one slight issue. All right, I'm a DC boy. If you see this, you know, PG County in the building. So we know who plays in my backyard, right? The one thing I will forgive you for is that Cowboys year. All right, we just won't talk about it. You know, we'll keep it hush hush. All right, we'll keep that on the side. We don't really need to talk about our rivals in that way. So we'll pretend that jersey is not there. But shout out to your time with the Chargers. Shout out to your time with the Bills and all that. Everything you put in, man. Shout out to you. All right, let's keep it rolling.
My go-tos are simple. I always go to No Shack Life and I go to Knox Hill. They break it down for me. Every new song come out, what they got to say about it. But then I feel like I was robbing y'all. I was like, oh, you know way too much about this beef, and you ain't showed the whole world exactly your cards, what you know. So let's do it right now. All right. So there's one thing I love more than sports, and I know y'all know me from football and talking that. It's music. My coaches knew it, my teammates knew it, my owners knew it. I used to DJ all the Super Bowls, all the owners' parties, etc.
That is dope.
I DJ for Kanye, Outkast, Run DMC, Busta Rhymes, Shanti. You just keep going, dog. There's a whole long list of these cats, right? And this beef actually came to me first. So, We're going to go through this real quick. I'm going to try and make it as quick as possible, even though it's been a decade
Lay it
plus
down.
that I knew
Lay it down.
that this day was going to come. All right. So I met Kendrick Lamar. I'm from Compton, but I'm older. So I met Kendrick Lamar the first time when he came on our
Shout out Compton, baby. West Coast.
show, Sports Nation. Now, Max Kellerman loved Kendrick Lamar from Hello. It didn't hit me like that. I was like, is this Andre 3000 coming to Compton? So it took me a second to really register how great Kendrick was. Max kept telling me, dog, he dope, he dope, he dope. He did the same for Nipsey. I give Max his credit, right? He put me up on that game.
I didn't know Max Kellerman was like that. Shout out Max.
Those two. I remember Kendrick showing up. We chopped it up, and he performed. So
That's what's up.
I'm going to show y'all this whole beef in the timeline that it hit me. We going back to 2013 when Kendrick Lamar first hit the scene.
Sorry, I cut ahead for copyright reasons, but let's jump back into it.
Compton's finest. I ain't talking about me. I'm talking about Kendrick and your boy. All right. So that's it. That's how we started off. Met Kendrick there. Obviously, you chop it up before the show. You do the show with him. You stay in touch, whatever it may be. So I know a lot of the
You know what's funny? I get it, man. It's the internet nowadays. Like, Marcellus can't even, like, just tell the story. Like, this happened. I was there. It's almost like because we live in a world of receipts. Like, he's got to show I was really there. There's Kendrick. There's me. All right, credibility established. Let's keep it rolling.
do the show with him. You stay in touch, whatever it may be. So I know a lot of the TDE cats, right? I know Top Dog. I know Schoolboy and Kendrick. Now also one of my
The biggest regret I have this year is not doing a breakdown of that Schoolboy Q track.
boys, one of my
I missed that one.
friends, Jason Estrada is his trainer and his dog. So they super close. So I know Kendrick a little bit. So Kendrick comes on the show. That's what, 2013. All right, respect to Kendrick. Now he's blown up. He's big time. He's doing that song. So y'all know he already household. The next year, we bring on Drake. Now, Drake is hosting the ESPYs. Now, I've told this story, but not in its entirety. Even when I told Vlad last month, I told him as much as I could tell him. But at that time, the beef wasn't where it is now. So I'm about to let y'all know exactly what I know. We bring Drake on. Drake comes on the show, and he felt a certain type of way about Kendrick. To me, it sounded like either jealousy or he wanted to really pat him on his head, be like, dog, that's cute what you doing, but you ain't me. They both came out, I think, around 2009 or whatever. I remember Drake was in the club first for me. And I was here, hey, all that kind of stuff, right? So he was banging. He took Kendrick on his first tour. So Drake had a national tour and took Kendrick.
Bro, I love Marcellus' personality.
Kendrick didn't take Drake. Drake took Kendrick. So I'm like, all right, in this race, even if they started at the same time, Drake had the lead.
Yeah, he was bigger.
To the point where you go to next year, 2014, Drake is on our show. It's Max Keller and myself. We doing the interview. And Drake going in on Kendrick. Now I was like, wait, what the hell? Me and Max hitting each other like, oh, this dude talking that trash. He going in. It's about to go down. Our lives about to change. Because we about to be at the central, the epicenter of rap. Like, we got the biggest beef going, and he about to drop it right on our lap.
Wow.
Now, we taped that show. So when that show came out,
I mean, you've seen what it's done for streaming numbers and this beef and like channels and the blowback. Imagine if this happened then, what this would have done to ratings for their show then.
Didn't see the beef. Y'all didn't see what Drake said. Y'all didn't hear what Drake was coming from. What Drake was saying was basically like, Kendrick, you ain't me. Kendrick, I'm the big dog. I got the numbers. I got the machine. I am the machine.
Wow.
Stay in your place, little man.
Woof.
We heard.
I mean, look, I understand that egos come into play, and a lot of times these situations happen because of ego and pride. And I think there's a fine line for artists because amidst all the negativity, all the hate, all the trolling that we get, you have to have immense self-confidence and self-belief to keep going. And that's why I say there's a fine line with that ego. And sometimes that ego and that immense self-confidence to get through everything in order to get to the top and to be number one, it can backfire on you. And it seems like here's a situation where it's been flipped the wrong way.
Machine. I am the machine. Stay in your place, little man. We heard it all, but ESPN recorded it all. So they got the tapes. They like Adele with Spygate. They got the tapes. We ain't got them, but we got the receipts. Max got a better recall than me because CT is real. Nah, for real. I've been hitting the head a few times. And at the time, I thought it was all being recorded, so I'm like, I ain't tripping. The world gonna see it.
Yeah.
But Drake went in on Kendrick. So what I want y'all to catch is where Drake was in terms, and where Drake is in terms of how people really felt about him. And I ain't want to be the dude to go in on Drake because I love Drake. I love his songs, right?
I just want to have a beer with this dude and talk to him, man. He seems cool as shit.
Let me tell y'all this. So I just looked it up. Control Verse came out in 2013, it says. So Kendrick comes on our show 2013. Drake knows that, duh. Kendrick drops Control Verse 2013. So when Drake is hosting the ESPYs 2014, next year, he has to come on all the shows. They call it the car wash.
We talked about in my breakdown how Drake definitely felt a type of way about Control.
He has to promote the ESPYs, but he also gets to promote his albums and all that stuff. Wow. So part of it is like, all right, what you got going on? What's coming up next? And part of it is like, all right, this dude I just took out on the tour that I feel that I'm bigger than, even though he getting all this love and respect, like that fast, even though we came out at the same time, but he too close on my heels, so let me push him back. So that's why Drake went in on him. That's why Max and I were sitting there and this dude going in on him. Real talk.
Interesting.
Okay.
Egos.
So that comes out. It's 2014. Drake comes out. And this is Kendrick all on our show. Now, this is one part nobody knows. So at the time when it happened, I'm like, damn. And I get on the phone with Top Dog. I get on the phone with TDE. I get on the phone with them dudes. And I told them what happened. Now, it was fresh in my mind at that time, and we chopping it up. And they was like, all right, big homie, don't do nothing. Don't say nothing. So why I was so coded for so long is because I was like, oh, this ain't my beef. This is their beef. They know the art of war. I'm going to let them handle that, especially because we didn't have the receipts. So I thought it was out of place, out of turn for me to be talking and speculation. Somebody said,
it really feels like some Art of War Kendrick shit. Like this has been building and planning and plotted for a long time, the way you moved.
Back it up. I ain't got no tapes. Goodell got them. ESPN got them, right? So I was like, all right, let y'all handle it. But what y'all seeing right now is them handling it back then. What y'all seeing right now, the intensity, the volume, the frequency, why Kendrick stay ready, he ain't got to get ready, is because in 2014, he already knew this is where this was headed, right here. Real talk. So that's it.
It's funny that it's taken so long for this to finally really bubble over.
And Drake, I'm gonna be real. You started it. Don't act like Control Verse did that. Nope. Because everybody who got dissed in that song really got props, got praised in that song, took it like they knew what it was. It was love. And you took it like, oh, it was a problem. Then you came on our show, dissed this dude, then hid behind your team, let them call our bosses, producers, everyone a part of this show, and told them, hey, dog, if y'all let that interview go, I'm not hosting ESPYs. Facts.
Wow.
You literally told ESPN, if y'all put out that show where I'm dissing Kendrick because I took his props the wrong way, I'm not hosting y'all ESPYs. They not like us. They not like us. So,
wow.
Just
That's
because
big.
I respect battle, I'm a baller, I play ball. This is where you at right now, big dog. This is funny. I just want to end on a light note because I ain't got no issues with either one of these dudes, but trust me, from when it first happened to the fact that I was hella mad that we couldn't put it out there, just put the video out there, shoot.
Yeah.
If it was live, he couldn't have said nothing.
Yeah.
But we taped it that day randomly, probably on purpose because he knew he needed an out just in case. And now we here. Kendrick was like, okay, damn, Kendrick maniacal. You know how maniacal you gotta be? Kendrick about that life. I'm gonna wait 10 years. Golly.
Wow. I mean, it's wild, man. And the thing is like, you know, the Rick Ross about the cease and desist, and there's been other statements about the cease and desist and the way that Drake has moved behind the scenes. Well, I think you're getting some insight from someone in it, more of a direct source this time, of what Drake has tried to do behind the scenes to manipulate or control the situation. In this case, he didn't want that interview leaking with Kendrick, right? He didn't want to take it to beef at that level. But then you fast forward through the years of all the indirects that's been happening and all the disses. It's almost like, why didn't we just do this back then? Hey, I'm not complaining. At the end of the day, we've talked about this. It's bringing more attention to lyricism. It's making people really appreciate rapping again. And I'm all here for that. But hey, I'm also here for great moments like this, to listen from legends, to get shout outs, to have a moment like this. But I thought you guys might find that interesting. I mean, who do you guys have up on the scorecard right now? Yeah, let's keep it going. But anyways, the other thing I want to say is I still want to stick to, I saw some people commenting, what do you mean by keep it to wax? Keep it to the record, right? Keep it to the record. Keep it to the competitive nature and side of rap. We don't want to see it spill out into the streets. We don't want to see people getting injured. We don't want to see people possibly losing their lives over this situation. That's the last thing that we want. We don't want another Pac. We don't want another Biggie. There's been so many amazing MCs who have lost their lives, unfortunately, and you never, ever want to see that. You know, I kind of wish sometimes, even like Drake, Kendrick, a lot of these dudes that get into these battle situations, I kind of wish they could take it more like battle rappers, right? Battle rappers say wild shit to each other, but they're programmed to be that way, right? They're used to it. Like, they say wild shit. They get way out of pocket with each other, but then at the end, they're smiling, taking photos with each other, having a beer afterwards. You know, I feel like between rap in the industry versus battle rap, I wish sometimes people could do that and just keep it here in this space. You know, but we'll keep an eye on things. We'll keep talking about it. We'll keep covering it. If there's more diss tracks, if there's more music, anything going on with the Drake and Kendrick situation, you know I got you. Anyways, stay safe, guys. Subscribe, notifications on. Cop yourself some merch, knoxhilldmv.com. Support the channel. Go check out Marcellus Wiley's channel. I love you guys. I'll check you again.